Aix-les-Bains, à Chambéry et bien plus encore, Radio Grand Lac vous accompagne sur le 92.1 FM.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Your English Weekly. I'm your host, Sinead Dupont, professeur d'anglais et directrice de Your English Workshop. Donc, bonjour à tous. Juste une petite intro. Bienvenue à l'émission Your English Weekly. Cette émission est sponsorisée par Your English Workshop et cette semaine est la dernière de la saison pour 2023 avec Tim. Donc, bien entendu, le thème d'aujourd'hui, ça va être le thème de Noël. Donc, Tim qui a parti à la quête de la Père Noël. Pardonnez-moi pour mon accent aujourd'hui avec mon petit rhume. Hi, and welcome back to Your English Weekly. Today is the last of the season, and it's a B2 level. And if you need today's script and chat on the lesson, go onto our website, Your English Weekly. Our lesson today is B2 at a lower speed. So, hi Tim, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you, Sinead?
Very good. So, Tim, today we are going to go and find out about where you visited with Santa Claus, with Father Christmas, with Saint Nicolas. Depending on where we live, we call it different things.
Indeed we do.
Indeed we do. So what are some of the words we're going to hear today?
Simple one to start with, promised.
Oh, promis.
Dominant.
Dominant, quelqu'un qui est très régnant.
Obviously.
Évidemment.
Workshop.
That's Your English Workshop. Atelier.
Impressive.
Impressionnant.
Brand new.
Toute neuve.
Sweetest place.
Un endroit tout doux.
Worse.
Pire.
Depending.
Depending on, donc comptez sur.
Definitely.
Sur.
He consisted.
Consisted, so ça consiste.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very similar words between French and English. So, before we start and we talk about where you visited, what is the expression of the week, Tim?
The expression today is let sleeping dogs lie.
Oh, so sleeping, a dog. So a dog that's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about what that means.
Okay, so basically it means to leave a situation as it is in order not to make it worse.
Okay, to not make it worse. Okay.
So, an
example, yeah.
Don't bring up what happened at Alison's party again. You should just let it lie.
So that means then if you went to Alison's party, you won't, and you had an argument with someone, you won't talk about it again. You'll just leave it the way it is. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
So just leave things the way they are.
Don't make it worse.
Sleeping dogs lie. Okay. So where did you go this weekend, Tim? Tell us a little bit about where you went.
Well, this weekend we decided to take our daughter to the home of Father Christmas. It's Le Hameau du Père Noël in français.
Nice. All children love to go and visit the Father Christmas,
Indeed.
Santa Claus.
Indeed.
And so where did you go?
It's located in the Grand Park Andilly.
Where's that?
Between Annecy and Geneva. So
okay.
About 35 minutes on Aix, depending on the traffic.
Okay, so what did they do? Did they build sort of a big hameau, a big place with a big, lots of things to see, the little elves, the house of where they make toys, where Father Christmas has his workshop?
Yes, indeed. Well, it's a big chateau.
Which is a castle.
Mm-hmm. It's been set up nicely. Father Christmas's area was there was 3 different rooms: his bedroom, the kitchen, and his workplace. They were all obviously wooden, and the dominant theme was red and green. Funnily enough.
Okay. The colours of Christmas.
The colours of Christmas.
Red and green, yeah.
But just to say, they do have this park was impressive. It's a big place, and they do have other shows throughout the year. like a medieval show, which apparently is very good to visit. And they also do an owl apprenticeship day where you can learn all about owls.
Okay, so it's an area that is devoted to different... but at Christmas time, Santa comes to say hello to the children.
He does indeed, yes.
Okay, so did you have the opportunity to meet Santa Claus?
The big man himself, funnily enough, I did. I bumped into him. He was in good form, and he was in one of the corridors in his house, actually. You couldn't miss him.
Okay.
And did you know he had a wife with who has lots of sisters?
No, I didn't.
Very different from each other.
Mrs. Claus. So Mrs. Claus, that's Santa's wife.
Yes.
Who was a key figure in supporting Santa Claus because she helps him prepare for his big night, which is on the 24th of December. Okay. And tell us more. Was the atmosphere good? Were there a lot of people? Did you learn anything?
Well, the atmosphere was festive. There were a lot of children, so excited. So it was nice to see. Without a doubt, the sweetest place in his hamlet, though, was where he displayed his favourite gifts.
Of course. So, do you know anything about Santa Claus?
Apart from he's always snuck into my house on the Christmas Eve and delivered lots of lovely presents. No, I'll fire that question back at you, Sinead. Can you tell me about Santa Claus?
Well, I'm not an expert on Santa Claus, but I do know that he's based on a figure who was from Dutchland, if I'm not mistaken, who was called Sinterklaas, which sort of puts together between the Saint Nicolas, which was very Christian, and they were both known really for their generosity, for giving to other people, because that's what Christmas is about more than anything else, and the characteristics of being able to be nice to people, helping people around you, etc. So yes, that's good, but it's all, the different traditions.
I guess because there's Scrooge as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's Scrooge, and he's the opposite of what Christmas is about.
Well, that's why we don't talk too much about Scrooge, because he discovered that he had to be nice, and that was something that was difficult for him, and he was not always very generous with people. But here we are. And did you get a chance to? Do you know where he comes from, the Santa Claus?
Well, the home of Santa, I think, is up in the Scandinavia. In Greenland.
In the North Pole.
Yes, in the North Pole.
And where the elves come and help him. So the elves, we have the elves and the sleigh and the reindeer. So all these sort of characteristics are very folklore, and they vary across cultures, of course, and tradition. And the story of the elves and Claus evolved over time as well. A lot of that came from, I don't remember exactly, but the poem. There was a poem that was done by Clement Clark Moore in 1823, which was very famous, which was The Night Before Christmas. And that's when he really gave the image of Santa Claus being a happy person, very sweet man who was very fat and thick and round.
Was that from his wife's cooking?
Probably. And he was the one that sort of gave all Santa's reindeers names. That's where they came with Dasher and Dancer and Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid and Donner and Blitzen.
Wonderful names.
So a lot of them came from his poem. And then, of course, there was the influence by Coca-Cola, I think.
Yes, Coca-Cola.
And so Coca-Cola, they used exactly this image that Clement Clark Moore's poem had illustrated, where they put him in a big red suit with the big fur and his plump belly, and then he became popularized in the 1930s.
Yes.
Always, though, with the same concept, which is giving. Do you see a difference, Sinead, in between Ireland and France, with how they celebrate Christmas? Yeah, we do, because we have a lot of, for us, it's the 25th that's very, very important, more so than the 24th. Whereas here in France, the 24th tends to be the traditional night where you have your big feast with your family and friends. And for us, it's more on the 25th where we get together for the day and we spend time together around the table. It usually starts at about 11 o'clock in the morning and then goes on until it finishes at all hours in the evening.
That's right, yeah.
And what about you, Tim?
It's the same. The 25th and 26th is kind of festive-y back home. France, I find, is more the 24th and for the celebration, though they do things on the 25th, of course.
Yeah, and so are you going back to England for your
yes, for
your celebration?
Yes, we'll spend that with the family. I quite like Christmas crackers, and you don't. I guess it's hard to find over here. So.
Okay, so what would your traditional meal for Christmas be, Tim? Tell us about your traditional meal.
Well, it's normally turkey, isn't it? But mine, I enjoy beef, so.
So you cook beef for Christmas?
On
Christmas
Day, I do a rib of beef.
Well, that's very different, isn't it? Because usually most people cook turkey on that day.
Indeed. However, I often go back to people's houses for Christmas, so I have turkey or beef. Depends on what they're cooking. But when I have,
and with all the trimmings, what trimmings would you have?
There's some tough technical words here. Stuffing.
Okay, so stuffing is what we put inside the meat or the turkey that gives it a very juicy flavor with breadcrumbs, some parsley, some onions, etc. Yeah. And it's cooked inside the turkey.
And
stuffing.
Stuffing.
Yeah.
Pigs in blankets.
So explain pigs in blankets.
It's little sausages wrapped in bacon.
Okay.
And then you also have, you can have bread sauce.
Yeah.
There'll be
Brussels
roast
sprouts.
Potatoes, Brussels sprouts, red cabbage.
Yeah, some carrots, roasted carrots.
Roasted carrots, yes.
Roasted parsnip.
Gravy is very important.
Gravy too, yes.
Yeah.
And then there's the little sauces.
Of course.
The cranberry
sauce.
Yeah.
Delicious. So it's very difficult to have a small plate at Christmas, basically.
Yeah. But I still think that the French tradition with the foie gras is quite good.
Very nice.
Too.
Yes.
Yeah. We tend to enjoy that. And so when do you pull your crackers then, Tim?
At Christmas lunch.
At Christmas lunch.
And I don't know if people are familiar, but a cracker is... you'd have to look it up online. A cracker is something you share with a friend. It's like, how would you describe this, Sinead?
Well, a cracker is a piece of paper that has two sides to it that you pull. Each person on each side pulls, and inside you find goodies. It looks like a bow tie. It does look like a bow tie, yes.
And it makes a sound when you pull it.
Yeah, it makes a snap like a petar.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, not bad. And so on the 24th then, what's your tradition? Do you go to the pub?
Yes, I like to go to the pub with my friends and have a few drinks.
Yeah, that's what we do too.
And then go to midnight mass and sing a few songs.
Of course. And of course the traditional songs for charity, to raise money for others, etc. Well, listeners, there we are, the last of the season. A few traditional things for Christmas. Don't hesitate to find the script on the website. But before we finish, will you give us your little quiz today,
yes.
Tim?
First of all, name an activity you can watch in the summer at the Grand Park Andely. What was the sweetest place in Santa's Hamlet? Did Mrs. Claus have any sisters?
Okay.
And finally, what is the name given to something you pull with your friends at lunch at Christmas in England?
Ah, there we are. Okay. Well, don't hesitate to find the answers on our website. And don't hesitate to come and talk to Tim on Friday at 8:30 to 9:30 for coffee and conversation. And of course, you must stay tuned today because there is a big program. Donc, il y a un grand programme aujourd'hui, un programme de ouf, en fait, entre 1h, une commune à la Biole à 17h. C'est bientôt l'apéro à 18h15 avec Sylvain et son équipe. Il y a le 16/9e. Alors, je pense que je l'ai dit mieux cette fois-ci. Donc, le 16/9e avec Kevin et Guillaume à 19h30. Et bien sûr, n'hésitez pas de regarder sur notre site tout ce qui se passe pour le nouvel programme pour 2024. Et je serai de retour en 2024 avec plein de nouvelles activités avec Tim. Coffee and Conversation, il va y avoir les Newsweek, on va avoir les Newsweek aussi, on va avoir tout ce qui se passe pour les cours collectifs qui vont se passer. Donc c'est vrai que c'est un grand moment à Your English Workshop en 2024. Donc voilà, en espérant de vous voir tous là-bas à ce moment-là. En tout cas, I say goodbye to you for today. Thank you for listening to us again this season. And we'll have a new season in 2024 with Tim. Bye, Tim.
Bye, Sinead.
Happy Christmas, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy Christmas. Thank you.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Radio Grand Lac, votre radio.